Comparing fractions, looking at fractions greater than 1. We have looked at representing fractions as areas and on the number line. Here we have 2/3. Now let's look at fractions greater than 1. Here we have a fraction in symbols. We know it is made up of 2 and a bit more. So the fraction falls somewhere between 2 and 3. If we look at the fraction part, it is 4 equal parts between each whole number. So we can divide the line into 4 equal parts to make quarters. The first point is 2 1/4, the next is 2 2/4, and then we have 2 3/4. So we use the denominator to decide how many parts to divide the whole into, and then we use the numerator to select the number of parts. So now we know where 2 3/4 is on the number line. Let's look at another example. Here we have a fraction. We can see it is 4 and then 9/10. We know this is more than 4 but less than 5. We can see the fraction parts is showing tenths, so we can divide the line into 10 equal parts. Then we can count along. We have 4 1/10, 4 2/10, 4 3/10, 4 4/10, 4 5/10, 4 6/10, 4 7/10, 4 8/10, and 4 9/10 is there. Remember, we use the denominator to know how many parts to divide the whole number into, and then we use the numerator to select the number of parts in this fraction. Now let's look at comparing two fractions. Here we have two fractions. Which is larger? Our mixed fraction is 2 and a bit more, so let's start with a number line like this. Now, because they are both thirds, we can divide each whole number into 3 equal parts. So 2 1/3 is there, and 2 2/3 is there. We can now mark in 2 1/3 on the number line. For the 8/3, we can count along. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3 is our whole number 1, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3 is our whole number 2, 7/3, and 8/3 is there. Now you can see that 8/3 is larger than 2 1/3. We can write this using symbol notation. So 2 1/3 is less than 8/3. Remember, with the greater than and less than symbols, the triangle points to the smaller number. Now let's compare 3 3/5 and 18/5. Which is larger? We know from our mixed fraction it is more than 3 but less than 4. Because we are looking at fifths, we can add our lines in, and then 3 1/5 is there, then 3 2/5, and 3 3/5 is there. For our 18/5, we know 5/5 is our whole number 1. So 10/5 is 2, 15/5 is 3, and then we have 16, 17, and 18/5 is there. So we can see that 3 3/5 is the same value as 18/5. In symbols, this means they are equal. Understanding fractions, looking at their denominator and then their numerator, we can then work with them. It is important for understanding the value of fractions.